Hello, welcome back. It's good to have you either way. Hope everybody had a wonderful Shabbat. Today we're going to kick off Ikev, the first reading. Moshe has been going over the Torah and the commandments and preparing the people to go into the land, and he has found out he's not going. He's known this for a while now. It's no surprise, but he had been pleading with God via Canaan, uh, the previous Torah portion, um, to go into the land. And God said no, but you need to prepare the people because there's going to be a lot of nations that I'm going to have to remove from the land, and the land's going to be full of wickedness and idolatry, and they need to be prepared before they go into the land. So we're going to do a cave, the first reading, which is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 12, beginning there, and going through chapter 8, verse 10. That's Deuteronomy 7:12 through 8:10, or Devarim. Um, it's the same Devarim as Deuteronomy. A cave is an interesting word. It means heal. It's not translated as heal, but according to Rashi, it says midrashically, the word Ikev, which also means heal, alludes to the sort of commandments that the people may regard as relatively unimportant, so they tend figuratively to tread on them with their heels. Thus, the Torah assures Israel that if they are careful to observe even these neglected commandments, that they can be certain that God will reward them with his covenant and kindness. That's according to Rashi in the Stone Edition Humash. We're going to pick up and start reading in chapter 7 and verse 12. Let me just get a sit before we go. Okay, 7:12 in Deuteronomy. Having exhorted the people to keep God's commandments first out of legal obligation and then additionally out of love, Moses continued, I must now warn you about falling to the delusions of self-aggrandizement when God rewards you for observing his commandments. If you will indeed heed these ordinances with such devotion that you are scrupulous about even the seemingly inconsequential ones, and safeguard them by studying the Torah's instructions regarding how to perform them, and then perform them accordingly, God your God will keep the covenant for you, as well as the promise of kindness that he swore to your forefathers that he would keep. So we're talking about the rewards here, and as we're going to see towards the end, we get into uh, the seven species, what you see on the table behind me, that God is promising them that's coming as a reward for keeping these meticulous details of the Torah. Uh, Verse 13, he will love you, bless you, and multiply you. He will bless your children, the fruit of your womb, your produce, the fruit of your soil, your grain, your wine, and your oil, the offspring of your cattle, and the choice of your flocks. All this in the land that he swore to your forefathers to give you. You will be blessed above all peoples. There will be no sterile male or barren female among you or your livestock. God will remove you from all illness. He will not set upon you any of the evil diseases of Egypt that you knew, but will put them instead upon all your enemies. You must destroy all the peoples whom God your God is handing over to you. You must not spare them. Nor may you worship their deities, for that will be a snare for you. Perhaps you will say to yourself, these nations are more numerous than me. How will I be able to drive them out? You must not fear them. Rather, you must remember well that what God your God did to Pharaoh and all of Egypt, the great trials that you saw with your own eyes, in which he dared the Egyptians to test him, the signs by which he confirmed that he sent me to save you, the marvels, the plagues, especially the two in which he killed the Egyptians, the mighty hand that he figuratively used to kill their animals with an epidemic, and the outstretched arm that he figuratively used to slay their firstborn. Again, they're using that word figuratively, meaning God doesn't really have a hand and he doesn't really have an arm. Not that He didn't really slay the Egyptians. All of which God your God took you out. So will God your God do to all the peoples whom you fear. In addition, as he told you, God your God will incite hornets against them, which will inject venom into them, which will castrate and blind them, until the survivors and those who hide from you perish. You must not be terrified of these nations, for God your God, who is in your midst, is a great and awesome God. And you need not worry that all the inhabitants of the land suddenly die. If all the inhabitants of the land suddenly die, the land will be overrun by dangerous wild animals, for as he told you, God your God will cast out these nations before you gradually. You will thus not be able to destroy them too quickly, lest the beasts of the field outnumber you. True, wild animals do not harm righteous people, but I do not expect your entire population to sustain such a level of righteousness. Verse 23, God your God will deliver these nations to you, and he will derange them with a great pandemonium until they are utterly destroyed. He will deliver their kings into your hand, and you will thus destroy their renown from everywhere under heaven. No man will be able to stand up before you from the beginning of the battle until you have destroyed them. You must burn the sculpted images of their deities with fire. You must not desire the silver or gold that is plated upon them to take it for yourself, lest you be ensnared by it, for it is disgusting to God, your God. Nor should you bring an idol which is an object of God's disgust into your house, lest by demonstrating your lack of abhorrence for it, you thereby forfeit your life and become condemned to destruction like it. Rather, you must utterly loathe it and utterly detest it, for it is to be destroyed. Chapter 8 and verse 1. In the time remaining between now and the entry into your land, you must safeguard all the commandments that I am commanding you today. Those that you are able to perform during this period by studying the Torah's instructions regarding how to perform them, in order to be able to perform them properly, in order that you may live, multiply, and come take possession of the land that God swore to your forefathers. For you will enter and take possession of the land in the merit of the commandments you perform. You must recall the entire journey on which God your God led you during these 40 years in the desert, in order to afflict you and thereby test you, that is, to know what is in your heart, specifically whether or not you will keep his commandments. The commandment to not put him to the test or criticize him. He afflicted you, let you go hungry, and then fed you with manna, which neither you nor your forefathers had ever known, in order to make you know that man does not live by bread alone, but that man lives by whatever he is given through the command that issues from God's mouth. Your clothing did not wear out, for the clouds of glory laundered and pressed them, and your children's clothing grew with them. Nor did your feet swell from walking barefoot these 40 years. For like your clothing, your shoes never wore out. You know in your heart that just as man chastises his son, so does God your God chastise you. You must keep the commandments of God your God, to go on his way and revere him. For God your God is bringing you to a good land, a land of brooks of water, fountains, and aquifers that emerge in the valleys and the mountains, a land of wheat, barley, grapevines, figs, and pomegranates, a land of oil-producing olives and honey-producing dates, a land in which you will eat bread without scarcity. You will lack nothing in its land, a land whose stones yield iron, and out of whose mountains you will mine copper. You will eat and be satiated, and bless God your God for the good land which he has given you. And that verse 10, let me read that again. You will eat and be satiated, and bless God your God for the good land he has given you. And that's where we get our commandment to eat and then say a blessing afterwards, after we eat, that we bench. We say grace after meals, and that's where that comes from. In verse 8, chapter 8, verse 8, it says a land of wheat, barley, grapes or grapevines, figs, pomegranates, olives, and honey-producing dates. So those are the 7 species that Israel is known for. And to this day, they get special blessings. Um, so whenever you eat any of those foods, there's a special blessing in the Siddur that you say along with your for grace after meals. Um, and these are the great rewards that Hashem is giving the people on their own merit. And he's telling them, listen, you have the credibility of your forefathers, but you're not going into the land solely on their credibility. You're going into the land because I chose you. You are the people that I brought through the desert. You are the people that I developed. You are the people that I've been testing and working for all these 40 years to prepare people to go into the land that I've prepared for them. And now that God says, I know that you are able to do this, and I'm giving you Moshe to give you your final orders, that is to keep the Torah, to keep these commandments, even the meticulous ones that you may trample under with your heel, your Ikev. Keep those two. And that's what is going to get you this wonderful bounty that's behind me. What a wonderful meal to be able to live off of this 7 days a week. And the beautiful land behind there, it's a beautiful picture. I thank my wife for making these thumbnails for us and these backdrops. She's something of an AI whiz, and I enjoy them. Which brings me to the thing. And you know the thing. You know the thing. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I like it. Almost made it. I hope you really did like it. And if you liked it, please share it with somebody that you think might find it interesting. And if you liked it well enough to share, please subscribe so you don't miss another video. And if by chance you did miss any of Devarim, I'm going to link that playlist up here. And if you missed any of Vet Canaan, I'm going to link that up here. And we are now starting, this is the first reading of Eikev, and we will build this playlist as well. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you got something out of it. Have a good rest of your weekend. God bless. Have a good evening.